Coming to you from Little Rock, Arkansas, welcome to Sips on the Rock with Legacy Wine and Spirits. Join hosts and store owners Johnny Akins and David Bevins, along with product expert extraordinaire Jake Dell, as we chat about booze, news, and other happenings in the wide world of wine and spirits. Now, let's get to sipping.
Hello, welcome back.
Hey, welcome back to Sips on the Rock. Just a gentle reminder, we haven't said this in a long time. Be sure to follow us, subscribe to our podcast on wherever you get your podcasts, and also don't forget we have the live recordings posting every Tuesday on YouTube as well.
As well as the Facebook page, Sips on the Rock.
We put
Give it a like.
Yep, that's right.
Do it now.
We'll start putting some other content on there.
Speaking of other content, we are jumping across the pond today, talking about something other than beer and bourbon.
Should we dive in?
Yeah, let's do it.
I mean, why not?
We did, each week we had to figure out what we're going to talk about, the focus, and for a long time it was holidays, and it's Thanksgiving, Halloween, Christmas, Valentine's Day, New Year's.
Yeah.
So now that we get past a few of the big holidays, we can shift the focus more on a type of alcohol, a spirit, a wine. We're not to Scotch yet, but I can't wait for the Scotch episode.
That's going to be fun, yeah.
That's my jam. That's my jam. But today we're talking about its somewhat less heralded cousin, Irish whiskey.
Yeah.
Irish. Yeah, I mean, not a huge category to begin with.
Right. It has one shelf in our store.
Yeah. One column.
Column. Yeah, excuse me.
Hugely popular during St. Patty's Day. Not so much in retail, but in restaurants. But.
So we figured we'd talk about it now with St. Patty's Day coming up, and then maybe do some Guinness, stout beer, Irish stout beer in the next few weeks too, leading up to it.
Yep, sounds like a plan.
So yeah, when I say Irish whiskey, what do y'all think of?
Jameson.
Yeah.
I mean, Jameson, by far the category leader.
I feel like 95 out of 100 people on the street would say that. Last 20 years, if you think of a generic bar out there, probably Jameson is the only one that they carry. Maybe you'd see a bar with Bushmills. And we do have a couple of Irish bars in Little Rock, which is cool, and Dugan's and Cregan's, and
they're cool.
There's no, I'm not thinking of, but they carry more of them. But most of the time, they have restaurants or bars have Jameson. Bars have Jameson to shoot, do shots. Not many cocktails you can think of that call for
Car
Irish
bombs.
whiskey. Yeah.
Yeah.
But we have some other brands here to talk a little bit about. Proper 12 is Conor McGregor's Irish whiskey. We have some nicer ones in our store. Waterford there. Redbreast is a favorite of mine. They do 12-year, 15-year, 21-year. Again, kind of in that Scotch territory of letting stuff age for a long, long time. And you can get it cheaper than stuff that old, definitely compared to American bourbon and Scotch. Because Irish whiskey is a little bit less labor intensive than either one of those. Now, about the only whiskey we've talked about on here has been bourbon so far. How long have we been going? 6 months?
This is the 25th episode.
Yeah.
Half a year.
and we missed a couple of weeks, maybe 1 or 2 weeks here or there. So we decided to talk about some other kind of whiskey. A Scotch and Irish whiskey is typically almost always made from malted barley. American whiskey, bourbon, corn, rye, we talked about, wheat, you see.
Right.
But this is barley. You see some American whiskeys use 5% barley to add a little something here and there. This is 100% malted barley, and Irish whiskey uses a coffee still, which is kind of in between a column still and a pot still, where you don't have to do it in big batches. You can continuously be distilling it, and while it's going down this still that has many, many chambers, you can be adding fresh stuff on top, and it's an interesting thing. I'm not going to get too technical about it.
Well,
today.
and it just just to clarify, though, it has absolutely nothing to do with coffee.
Right, yeah, Coffey. It's, whoever invented it. It's, good thing to clarify.
Right, yeah.
Because we have a Japanese whiskey that's a coffee still, and I know
Right.
we've had people say, oh, is it, a coffee whiskey?
It's a coffee
No.
flavor. Well,
Right.
with so many flavors out there in the alcohol world
You
now,
never know.
it's easy to trip someone
Yeah,
up when you throw
yeah.
in a word like coffee.
Yeah.
Boy, I tried one the other day. Just a quick aside here. It was a buttered popcorn flavored whiskey. We'll be bringing that in soon.
Good stuff.
Every crazy thing. But Irish whiskey, being malted barley and not being, a lot of it's not copper pot stilled, it's going to be lighter. And that doesn't mean less flavorful. It's not going to be peat smoked like Scotch is. So it's not smoky, campfirey, all those weird, flavors that peat moss set on fire will give to Scotch. But barley has a different flavor profile than corn, and it's not as sweet. It's a dry finish typically, but again, lighter body, lighter on the palate. So it's not a big, full, heavy, full-bodied, whiskey usually, and that makes for shooting easier a lot of the time. And they're usually lower proof, 80 proof, 80 to 90. You don't see anything really up above 100. And again, age statements are rare, but they exist. But most of the time, it's like kind of an entryway into Scotch. If you don't really like American whiskey, but you want to try something else and you don't think you like the smoky Scotch, Irish whiskey is a good jumping off point there.
Mm-hmm.
It is. And, it's never been like one of my favorites, certainly not a go-to of mine.
Mhm.
But, it is gaining in popularity worldwide, as we see by them surpassing $1 billion for the first time ever in exports for 2022.
Wow.
So it is a growing category.
Yeah.
And that's also led by a lot of new innovation. As wildly popular here in the States, all these craft distillers, it's kind of catching on in Ireland with different, I guess mash bills, and they're starting to use rye and oats and all these different things and different
A little experimentation.
yeah,
Mhm.
they're doing different casks. I saw American oak cask.
Yeah.
And,
Jameson is starting to do
Yeah.
interesting things, and I'm sure we're not seeing a lot of the really cool small batch stuff. Obviously, when the market's not that huge for it, the category, in particular, the bigger brands getting to experiment is what we'll see around here. And Jameson has an orange, and they have a coffee, and then they have
is coming out with an apple.
they are doing stuff like a super heavy char, toasted barrel, black barrel, and Jameson does finishing in beer barrels, which is cool.
That's cool.
I think that's what I brought.
Yeah, they do an
the
IPA, and this
stout,
one is a stout.
which is really good.
Yeah, it adds some of those typical stout roasted malt flavors. It's subtle. You're not gonna the liquor's not black all of a sudden, and again, it's still light whiskey, but it's cool. Little twist on again stuff that's been made for hundreds of years. They're starting to do different things.
And the Jameson orange has kind of picked up in popularity. I
Yeah.
think. Yeah.
The people who like it really like it.
Mhm.
Just Irish whiskey in general, but yeah,
I mean, flavors. They're just run amok now.
Yeah.
Everything.
There's a Tullamore honey coming out, and proper apple, and just all kinds of stuff. So anyway, as well as I was also reading about they're starting to cast drinks, and more of them with age statements. And
like I said, that Redbreast is, man, I think my favorite producer that we get here, and they do that same type of stuff, cast strength.
Also very popular. And I don't know if we're still having the distribution problems with Redbreast as we used to.
Here and there, it's not as bad as it's been hard to get the green spot, yellow spot stuff.
Yeah.
Those are really good.
yeah,
too.
I was even reading about a gold spot, which
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll never see.
Right.
But Irish actually dates back. Irish whiskey dates back to like the 12th century. It's one of the
I believe
first
it.
known
Wow.
spirits to be distilled.
Yeah.
Well,
Pretty interesting.
a number of years ago, we actually went to Ireland with some friends, and we drove the whole island, and we actually did stop and see Jameson and went on a tour. And
That's
it was,
cool.
It was very
correction.
cool.
That was Bushmills.
Oh, I thought we went to Jameson. Oh, we did go to Bushmills. That's right.
That's how much it dominates the.
We went by Jameson but they weren't allowing any tours that day because they were busy bottling Bushmills.
That's right. That's right.
Wow.
That's right.
Little insider secret
I do
there.
recall that. My bad. Yeah,
They might act like enemies, but they're frenemies.
Yeah, I do recall that. And actually, we got personally engraved Bushmills bottles.
Oh, that's
with
cool.
names on them, which are really cool.
It was really cool. And Bushmills is actually really, really good stuff. If I'm going for an Irish, it'll be Bushmills more than likely.
I'd say they're number 2. They're a solid number 2 behind Jameson.
Yeah. It was
Our
really,
sales.
really awesome.
Yeah.
So when we were in Ireland, it was really, really cool going to the Bushmills distillery. You know, they do the big tour, and it's not like some of the smaller ones. It's huge.
Yeah.
So we had a good time there, and
Real old, looking, lot of brick, and it was really cool looking.
yeah, it's like you think old, hundreds-year-old Irish building.
Yeah.
Speaking of old buildings in Ireland, we there's a castle over there. They say it's the most haunted castle in Ireland. It's called Lep Castle. And like it's not even like a tourist stop. We just called up the guy that lives there and we're like, hey, we want to come see your castle.
These friends of ours that watched what is it, Ghost Adventures?
Yeah.
Said, oh, we saw this castle on Ghost Adventures and we want to go see it. Well, I don't know how we found the guy's number, but we called him and he was like, yeah, come on by. It was like, it's just this man lived there. I mean, he invited us into his home and gave us some Irish whiskey, and we sat around his table and he played the Irish flute for us. It was an amazing experience. And then he took us for a tour of the castle.
It was wild.
And this one, what are you laughing at?
I'm going to let you finish your statement.
This one room, it was like part of the ruins of the castle was the old chapel, which is where he kind of told us this backstory of the original owners of the castle were 2 brothers, and one of them was a preacher, and the other one was the head of the military. So
That would be a priest.
yeah, whatever, priest.
Yeah.
He goes in. The leader of the military goes in during service and just massacres everybody because he wants total control of the castle. And so that was the one room, as we're taking pictures of this whole castle, that we actually had like orbs every picture. It was really cool, really cool.
And that man who led you on the tour, he died in 1978, right?
Very possible.
Kind of looked like he might have.
Yeah, right.
But like more than half of this structure, was ruins. Like literally like falling in.
Yeah.
But like there were some enclosed places where he actually lived, and we're sitting in his little kitchen drinking Irish whiskey, and it's like they call it a whistle.
Yeah,
and it's like a little bitty flute.
Mm-hmm.
That you drink out of?
No. He was playing.
He's sitting there playing it while we're drinking whiskey, and
I
pretty
think
wild.
After we did our little tour, he was like, "I gotta go. I'm supposed to go be over here at this bar playing my flute or whatever."
So I don't remember the guy's name or number or address, but if you ever find yourselves out in the middle of nowhere,
look
in
up
Ireland,
Lep Castle.
Ireland wasn't like on my bucket list of things that I wanted to go see, but I'm so glad we went. It was beautiful. Cool.
Yeah, it was awesome. And we actually went down to Waterford. We didn't go to the distillery there, but it's where they make the crystal as well. But
it's the town? Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But yeah, incredible trip. Hop on your PJ and go to Ireland.
Right, yeah.
Have some whiskey.
We'll let them know you're coming.
Right. So, yeah, what is your favorite Irish whiskey?
Man, Redbreast 12 or 15. Yeah.
Right on. Well, we've got 1 month before St. Patrick's Day, so y'all have plenty of time to come get stocked up.
Yeah, St. Patrick's Day. I mean, like I said, it's not. We have an abundance of Irish whiskeys during St. Patty's Day, but we know that that's more of a bar holiday. People out drinking their green beers and Irish whiskeys in a pub, and
more so than loading up and just having a party or just hanging out at home.
We're not trying to dissuade you from coming
and
buying your St. Patrick's Day provisions.
That's more of that's a Dugan's Creekins Day.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Hibernia was the other one I was trying to think of.
Oh yeah. Over on Rodney Perham.
Used to play music there a long time ago.
Speaking of, I don't want to deflect from our Irish conversation, but you have a show coming up this Saturday, right?
Yeah. Talk about another gig on the episode where it'll be past when it airs.
Oh, that's right.
Well, we did mention it last week.
We did.
Yeah. So,
Well, we'll be there.
yeah.
We're excited to see this is your first gig with the new band. So.
Two Shot Blondie.
Yeah, it'll be a lot of fun.
Uh-huh.
We plan on making it, and hopefully you won't get banned from this bar.
Yeah.
Well, by the time you hear
can
this,
curse all you want at Vino's. I know that from experience. See, I'm familiar with this bar. I know this place. Not going to be my first time there.
Well, obviously, when this airs, you will have already missed the show, but we'll let you know next Thursday what we thought about it.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Lots of fun. So, wow, we ran through Irish pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
It is what it
it
is.
is what it is. We talked about tasting some and didn't want to open a whole bottle. Didn't have anything on the tasting bar. So,
Well, yeah, and we there weren't any smalls available down there either.
Right.
But, speaking of smalls, the 50 mil bill has passed and is on its way to the governor's desk to be signed into law.
50 mil bill.
I don't know when the actual law goes into effect, but if assuming that the governor signs it, at some point in time in the near future, we will have maybe 50 mils of all these different things. So
Thanks to this moderation bill.
yeah, so you can right.
The first question was, so this whole point is so you can buy less.
Yeah,
It was like, yeah.
That's right. You got
All right.
So
Somehow that point's been lost on them for
And-
the
and-
longest time.
and talking to some of our distributor friends, it's our understanding that there's actually going to be a lot more 50 mil varieties out than there are of 100 mils.
I believe it.
I'm not
Oh,
really
yeah.
sure why.
100
So-
mil is kind of a weird size.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So I'd imagine all the distributors will be bringing in a lot more 100 mils than what we've.
Oh, they'll
we've
be.
had in the past.
I'm sure they'll probably be forced to.
Mhm.
And
Airplane bottles.
main driver is Sazerac, so hopefully we'll be getting some of those in quicker than others, maybe.
Sazerac. I wonder if like Sazerac and Blanton's and all those come in 50 mils.
Yeah,
They do.
Do they
I've
really?
seen
When,
them.
we were
little
when
tiny
we were at
Blantons.
Buffalo Trace, we saw the
Yeah.
50 mil Blanton.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
You don't remember that?
No, I don't.
A little horse
yeah.
and all.
Wow. That's cute.
Yeah.
I have to get those. Send us some 50 mils, Sazerac.
Yeah.
Speaking of Buffalo Trace, excuse me, they have christened their new still, 40-foot tall still that can produce 60,000 gallons per day. Now in use. They are literally doubling their production capacity.
Good.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good.
Oh my God. Yeah. Of
Yeah.
course, it's still, you cannot rush the aging process.
Right.
So it'll be years,
Yeah.
literally, before we actually
Yeah.
see the impact. And hopefully this thing isn't going to be used for just Wheatley.
Well, yeah, right. Yeah. I was about to say they make white dog too, right? You can pump out a bunch of that.
But yeah, doubling their production of Buffalo, Eagle, Weller, Blanton, Taylor, be exciting to see.
I wonder if that means we start seeing a younger expression here and there from one of those brands, like a Weller 3-year or something.
Okay.
Maybe
So
possibly.
I don't know if they want to dilute their brand like that or not, but
Lagavulin
seems like the
Lagavulin
quicker they
made
can
it
get it on the
8.
shelves.
I mean, yeah, it's all money, right? At the end of the
Right,
day,
exactly.
if they know people will buy it, they're not
Crank it
gonna ruin their reputation to where people stop clamoring for Weller 12 because they put out a Weller 2-year or something,
right.
But yeah, it probably wouldn't be that brand, but I could see an Eagle Rare
Right,
3-year or
yeah.
something like that.
Well, how old
10.
is it?
Yeah.
God. Wait 10 years for more supply.
Yeah.
That's a lifetime. 10 years. But
Woodford has a new master distiller emeritus, Elizabeth McNeil.
I was gonna guess.
another
Is it a
female.
woman? Yeah,
Yeah,
just a shot in the dark. Yeah, that's
we
cool.
were. We've talked about this in the past. How a lot of people are hiring females as their master distiller, master blender, blah,
Yeah.
blah, and the like. Because let's face it, they have better palates.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what they say.
Is that
That's
what
what
they
they
say?
That's what they say.
I'll buy it.
Yeah.
I believe it.
So during the little football game this past weekend.
The little football game.
And y'all missed out. My party was incredible.
I wanted to talk to you about that because we missed it because we had family in town, but I did text Jake and say, "Send me pictures of all the food."
Yeah.
I want to see the food. You were talking
Ended
about.
up the guest list doubled the week of because we ran into some more friends, and I had to pivot on a couple of those recipes, and buy a lot of extra. Just had chicken wings. I said I don't do basic stuff, but in addition to all the hoity-toity 30-year-old balsamic vinaigrette burrata and all this crazy stuff I did, we had a bunch of wings too, and the game was exciting. Rihanna was great. The commercials were good, and everybody had a great time. It went off without a hitch. Nothing bad happened. Nothing got burnt. Nothing got spilled. I mean, yeah, it was great. A good time was had by all.
Well, we watched it.
I think KJ would have a different story.
Yeah, that's true. It's just the person who was rooting the most for one team there was KJ, and it was the Eagles, and they did not come out on top.
KJ is our general manager, JR's wife, and she is a huge,
she's a doll.
National treasure.
She's
amazing.
She is.
We love
National
her.
treasure.
Shout out KJ. I hope your wounds have healed from the sports ball game.
Yeah.
But while that was going on, I just read about this today. The world's top sommelier. I can't talk now. Sommelier was crowned in Paris. There's a world
Somm competition.
World Somm Comp was during the
Somm Comp.
Somm Comp during the
during the Super Bowl.
During
That's
the
such
Super
a
Bowl.
Somm thing. Like,
That
when are we
is.
gonna have it? Let's have it during that
Yeah,
stupid
right.
football game.
Right.
So it was
You said, where did you say it was? Did you say
it was in
Paris?
Europe?
Paris.
Yeah, Paris makes sense.
I had names and all this
Paris.
stuff. Anyway,
I bet that was a stuffy event.
oh yeah. Well, I mean, to
But
be
probably a cool after party.
I'm sure it was.
Yeah.
Anyway, I thought I must have not clipped all the info on this, but wherever this new Somm is from, beat the French Somm that was there.
Yeah.
And they're on their home court.
On their home court.
But I mean, to be crowned, it says crowned, the top Somm
I mean,
in the world.
yeah.
I mean,
To be king of the wine nerds.
I mean,
you've got to be able to smell that glass and say, "Oh, I know what slope that came from."
Yeah, right.
what plot
Yeah.
for what day it was harvested on.
I mean, I couldn't imagine.
Oh, yeah.
It'd be
Whether or not a fox pooped there within the last
Right.
2 weeks.
It's a hell of a thing to put on your resume.
oh, could you
I
imagine?
mean, king or queen of the wine nerds.
Yeah,
That's
right.
pretty cool.
Bow down.
But yeah, like when we went to Texom, the biggest North American gathering of sommeliers one year, it is a little stuffy during but at night they get crazy.
Yeah. They do. Then they start drinking whiskey.
Right. Yeah. Because everybody there is a booze
Right,
nerd,
yeah, right.
and when you get them all together, it's like, yeah, what did you bring in your bag?
Uh-huh.
Right.
What are we busting out at the bar here?
That was a fun event. We should go back to Texas.
It was
soon.
fun.
What time of the year was that? I can't remember.
It was
Summer,
warm.
isn't
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
Spring, summer.
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
I don't remember it being hot.
No, but it definitely wasn't in fall or
So
winter.
Texom, yeah, it's an industry event. It's down in Austin, was it? Or
Dallas.
Dallas.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have it every year, and yeah, it's a bunch of industry folks kind of piling on top of each other and learning about wine, and they have different
Classes.
courses.
Yeah,
and
you sign
classes,
up for
and,
courses throughout each day. And
so you can send your staff down if you're a retailer and have them learn more about what they're selling folks.
really cool
It was a really
stuff.
cool event.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't get. It's not like a credit building thing. It's just a
Right.
like
No,
Right.
no.
maybe CE. I don't know. But a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Very techy,
Mm-hmm.
heavy on the info.
We have
During the
one
day,
beer
though.
class each time. I wonder if they've upped that.
Yeah,
It's
I
like
don't know.
the year we went, it was like Pilsners, which
right.
not very exciting. And then Jimmy, I think, went the year before next year, and it was sour beers. And I was like, come on, why do you get that one? The Cicerone has to sit through Pilsners.
Right.
That's about as boring as it gets.
We'll have to look that up and see when it is this year, and maybe take a little trip down with some folks.
Yeah.
That could be a lot of fun. Speaking of Cicerone, Mr. Sir, we still have not gotten your certificate for the
Man,
wall.
I thought about it yesterday. I
called
forgot
out
to bring
on
it.
the air.
Yeah,
On
yeah.
the air. I was going to do it in Teams, but
this
you
is
brought it up.
even better. Yeah. I'll set a reminder.
So,
We're going to show off all of our learned staff with the certificate wall.
Yeah, we're
And
still
it's
trying
going to be impressive.
still trying to figure out where that wall is going to be.
I
But
mean,
yes,
you
we're
know where
going to
my
hang
vote is.
certificates somewhere downstairs so that everybody can see. Well, and we think also it will kind of inspire everyone else to make themselves get on the wall.
Yeah. Jealous of how many everybody else has got? You want to get up on the wall?
Oh, yeah.
Start studying.
further their education
Yeah.
so they can further help our staff or our customers.
I like lighting a fire.
I think it's a great idea.
Yeah, I think it'll be really, really cool.
Yeah.
And I'll have a certificate up there even.
Okay, so speaking of this was asked of me, probably 4 or 5 episodes ago. It was before New Year's. We talked about what everybody's New Year's resolution was going to be, and I made the joke about selling everything and moving to Mexico or whatever, moving far, far away.
Huh.
But I think I want to try to maybe take a mixology class or something.
Hey, there you go.
That'd be
we don't
cool.
really have a whole lot of focus on that here. So,
Well, there
I
you
don't
go.
know how good I'm going to be at it, but I might give it a shot so I can at least be able to help folks pinpoint what they need when they're making special cocktails.
You already know more than a couple people I know who did bartending school or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, back when I was bartending, it was before this, whole craft craze had hit the scene. So, I mean, it's like the most complicated drink you'd be asked to make was like a margarita. you know?
Oh, yeah.
A lot of, Crown and Coke, Jack and Coke.
Yeah.
Martini.
2 ingredient
Yeah.
thing. A liquor
Vodka,
and a
Red
mixer.
Bull, vodka, cranberry.
Which, of course, made my life easy.
Mhm.
But, I mean, some of the cocktails get so involved now.
Yeah, and
Handmade syrups and smoked
And
ingredients.
Right, yeah.
Shrubs.
Make
Yeah.
a cocktail and put it in a smoker and smoke it. And
Yeah.
It's like there's all kinds of crazy cool stuff.
I got one of those.
Love it. I did too.
Haven't used it
yet.
yet.
I got one for Christmas. I have not used it.
Yeah.
Yeah, JR had called me the other day at my desk asking if we can get some smokers in. And I've looked in the past and like the ones I found were
Expensive.
I mean, cost prohibitively expensive. I mean, they'd
Can't be
sit-
worse than the Champagne Sabers.
Oh, right.
That's true. But have we sold one yet?
I don't think so.
I
don't
think
think so
we
either.
have. I bet we have. There's more out of inventory than the one I took home.
If you need a little sword that's not sharp, come to Legacy.
Yeah.
For sabering your champagne.
We need to do that on an episode.
We're
Hey,
not-
and
Outside
I was
or
about to
something.
say,
Yeah. Whenever we do a remote.
our carpet in here is not very forgiving for.
Or
No.
that could be just some content we put on the Facebook page.
yeah,
true.
yeah.
Well, we should commit to sabering some champagne and smoking a cocktail
There you go.
with our
Yeah.
new cocktail smokers we have yet to
Yeah.
use.
Well,
All right.
there you go. Sounds like a challenge.
Yep.
Can we get it done? I bet we can.
Well,
So, read the notes. One more thing back on Irish. Heaven's Door and Redbreast are going to do a collab.
ooh.
Yeah.
That's cool for their high end.
That's just all I read. I don't
Okay.
know. Chances are it probably won't even trickle down to Arkansas anyway. but-
we got those in the whiskey lottery. Those Heaven's Door with the big leather book, and
right. Yeah.
Well,
maybe
we had a
if
Heaven's-
any store is gonna see,
right,
it
we had a
might be
Heaven's
us.
Door barrel,
Yeah,
so surely we might get
An
a little
extra
bit.
large
Yeah.
barrel. 2 fine whiskey makers right there, Redbreast and Heaven's Door.
Yeah. Yeah. So perhaps we never know what the year is going to bring.
Yeah,
Well,
we
more-
got
more to-
multiple
more-
bottles of birthday bourbon already. That's
I mean, I
blew
was
my mind.
shocked.
Yeah.
My socks
We've been
nearly
getting
fell off.
Yeah, we've been
Oh.
getting one. They're already in the closet.
Yeah.
So
just if you heard that, don't call us and ask if you can have one. They're not for sale until
you should know by now that they'll be in the whiskey
They're
lottery.
in the whiskey lottery.
Unless this is your first.
Just ignore
episode.
you even heard that.
It's nice to tease everybody
right.
now and then.
All right, folks. Well, we've about reached our time, so we will see you on the next episode.
Keep on sipping.
Keep on sipping.
Remember to subscribe to our podcast, Sips on the Rock, and like us on all the socials to keep up with what's new in the wide world of alcohol. Shop LegacyLR.com for curbside pickup or local delivery. Remember, for better service and better selection, shop local. Please enjoy responsibly. Cheers.